And welcome back to our Wilson Athletics YouTube page. We are here with episode 3 with highly anticipated Mr. Coach Faery. Coach, how are we doing today?
Lovely. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for joining us. So let's start out first. We're not gonna go right into the team right away. A lot of people are thinking I'm gonna ask you, what do you think of the team? We're gonna go a little off the path here. A lot of people don't know you played college football. Not only did you play college football, you played Division I football. Talk a little bit about that. Your playing days in college at Holy Cross.
Well, it's a big change from high school. High school, you're out there for fun, where college, it's more of a job, and you really got to work at it, or you're going to get fired. Basically, you're not going to play. And just the level of competition, everybody on the team was all-state. So you show up there, you're all-state here, you think you're hot stuff, and you show up there, you're fifth string. So you really got to work hard, and it's also rewarding. You make all your best friends there because you all work so hard together. So it was definitely a good time. If you could do it, I definitely recommend it.
Do you try and take some of the lessons that you learned there and apply it here when you're coaching in high school?
I do it. Well, the lessons, drill-wise, I take a lot from my defensive line coach there, who's also he's a defensive coordinator now. He was at Rutgers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everywhere else. These guys are smart guys, and you learn a lot from them. So you take those lessons and the pregame speeches and stuff. You gather stuff from the coaches. Our head coach was the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame at one point. So these guys have been around, they know a lot of stuff. So yeah, I take a lot from them and try to translate it to the high school level and try to go from there.
Now let's talk a little bit more about your team this year. You're our defensive coordinator, calling all the plays on defense. You lost Steve Frericks at linebacker, Aaron Horvath at linebacker, Marcel Wilson at a lockdown corner position, and Andrew Hatzel we lost halfway through last year. Is it going to be tough for these guys to bounce back and maybe the next man up mentality, or do you feel confident with these guys that are going to have to step up?
No, I actually think our defense is better than last year. We're definitely faster. Steven was the heart of the team, but we just have so much talent and speed. Those guys, you don't replace those guys. You just teach guys to be themselves as players. And when you teach them to be themselves, you get that aggressiveness out of them, and they become really good. And I think this could be the best defense we've had in, 5 years that I've been here.
That'll be great. That'll be really fun to watch on Friday nights. Now, one of the players that you, I'm sure, have a great rapport with is middle linebacker Drew Westmoreland. He is really the quarterback of the defense. People line up off of him, and you've really talked to them because he's a 4-year starter. He's been here since he's a freshman, and even since youth, you've had a great rapport with him. Talk a little bit about that relationship with him.
Yeah, I've known him, I've coached him probably since he was 6 years old, 5 years old, and so all through youth. And the thing with Drew is you don't have to teach him how to tackle or be aggressive. He wants to go out there and rip your face off, and if you have that middle linebacker, half your battle's already won. And he has no problem coming up and asking me questions, and I rely on him. If he makes a call and it's a bad call, as long as he makes it and everybody's on the same page, I'm good with it.
So let's talk a little bit about if you're losing the past 3 years. We've lost to Southwestern 3 years in a row. Those are just terrible losses. We asked this to Mr. Atlas. Is it going to be tough to bounce back from those losses? Because they really are heartbreaking.
No, I don't think it is. It is heartbreaking at the time, but when you look back at it, you look at a team like Southwestern, and the rosters they man and the pool they draw from, they get guys from Jamestown and everywhere else, and we're playing with a bunch of scrappy kids, is what I call them. But these guys have short memory. I mean, you can tell by some of the drills, they don't remember from one drill to the next. So to remember from last year's game, I don't think is a problem. And I think that gets fire in certain amount of guys. Certain guys on the team remember that stuff, and they just want to come back and play hard. And I think if you watch our games against a team like that, we shock a lot of people in how we play them. And I think we should have won both games, but that's how football is.
Have you been pretty pleased with your defense so far? And even the offensive line, because you are coaching the offensive line as well. Have you been pretty impressed with them so far?
I won't be impressed till the game starts, but they're doing what I ask them to do for the most part. And there's certain players that add levity to it, which I miss from high school, from college. You don't get that in college. You have levity, you're in the locker room. Here is levity. It breaks up the monotony, it breaks up the practice, and I think it's fun, and I think they're having fun. So I think we're doing well because all these guys have been in the system for so long. They know what I'm running. I add a few more twists and turns, and they already got it before we start.
Now, last one here. We asked this to Mr. Atlas. We're going to have a little fun with you here. Week 3, Bishop Timon comes here Friday night, home opener on the brand new turf football field. who do you think will get the first touchdown on the new field? Now, you could say as defensive coordinator, you're probably thinking that maybe a pick six from your secondary, but you go with who you think. Who do you think will get the first touchdown?
Well, it better be defense. I hope we start on defense first, and our first touchdown is going to be Drew Westmoreland on a strip, pick up and score a touchdown, and hopefully after that strip we take their heart out and we're done with them.
There we go. That's what we like to hear. And so that'll do it here for our episode 3 on the Wilson Athletics YouTube page. Stay tuned for next episode. We have interview with middle linebacker and quarterback of the defense, Drew Westmoreland. So long, everybody.